Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Sonos 5. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. Before we talk about the specifications, mind that these speakers are one of the oldest speakers. Now I think the oldest speakers in the Sonos current lineup. They are due an upgrade, but the sound quality is still unmatched. So the Sonos 5 has 6 Class D amplifiers, 3 tweeters, and it weighs around 6.5 kgs. It has Ethernet, Wi-Fi 3, which is the older Wi-Fi, so that's at 2.4 gigahertz. And since it has Wi-Fi, it has AirPlay 2. It has no IP ratings, but it is humidity resistant. And lastly, it has Trueplay feature. Now moving on to design and build. So the design of the Sonos 5, I think, stays in line with the company's the design philosophy of being minimalist, and these are quite that. Now on top of that, you can place these speakers however you like. You can place them horizontal, you can place them vertical. So if you own one of these, put them horizontally. If you own two of these, put them vertical. Coming in at 6 kgs, these are quite heavy, and the construction of these is also quite solid. The bracing of the entire cabinet is also very, very nice. Now you can tell a lot about the speaker by how it's built and how the bracing is. And if a speaker has good bracing, you can expect it to have good sound as well. And the grill is also pretty sturdy. It's not a soft grill, it's a hard grill. All in all, in the design and build quality department, I would give this a 9 on 10. The one point that I'm taking away from the 5s is basically it gets dirty very fast. Even if you do keep it for, let's say, a week or two, you will notice some smudges on it. It doesn't matter whether you have white or black, it'll show more on white actually, less on black, but it does have these problems. Apart from that, I really love the design and I think they can fit anywhere. For connectivity, it only has two options. So one is Ethernet and the second is Wi-Fi. Now, if you put it on Ethernet mode, you have the option to disable Wi-Fi. It doesn't have any Bluetooth. So I think Sonos made a conscious effort not to put Bluetooth in these, because Bluetooth back in the day had high latency, unreliability, and it was very lossy. So if you want to build a hi-fi product back in the day, Bluetooth wasn't really an option. Since this is a hi-fi speaker, I think maybe that's why they went with Wi-Fi. The last connectivity option that it has is a 3.5 mm. So if you have a turntable or you want to connect an auxiliary input into this 3.5 mm, you do have the option for that. That's it for the connectivity. And for connectivity on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this a 6. The 4 points that I'm taking away from it, I think that's self-explanatory. It's dated, very simply put. It could use Bluetooth as of now, and the Wi-Fi also can be upgraded. So that's them. Now let's talk about the sound quality. Now we will divide this into bass, mids, and trebs. Now if you look at the frequency response curve for the Sonos 5, you'll notice that there is a noticeable bass somewhere around 20 to 30 hertz. Now, and it drops sharply after that, say somewhere around 35 to 40 hertz, and then it rises back again at audible levels somewhere around 45 hertz. And then at 50 hertz, it's way above normal listening. And it does match exactly as I've heard it. So the low end of the bass, the subwoofer bass that you're looking at below 30-40 hertz, that's pretty much non-existent. So you can't count that. If you want hard thumping bass, that it cannot do, to be honest. If you want frequencies to go as low as 10-20 hertz, really feel the bass rather than hear it, that it can't do. It's not meant to do that also. And if you look at any music comes from natural instruments, nothing is below 60 hertz. It's all the electronic music that goes so low. If you're listening to music, this will not disappoint you. The bass is more than adequate, and it's got punchy bass. In the bass department, you won't find yourself wanting for more over here, for sure. And if you do want more, you can always use the equalizer and dial up the bass. And I've done that. I've done that in my testing scenarios, and there's a noticeable difference. But then again, the response is not linear. Then it becomes bass heavy. So it's up to you. If you want bass heavy music, then you have an option to do that. Now, looking at the mids are extremely neutral, and the soundstage in itself is extremely vast. With mids, if you're looking for that sparkle, then it's definitely there. Although if you do want to tweak the equalizer for mids, that option is not there. Unfortunately, you do have to rely on whatever sound Sonos is offering. So I have no complaints from the mids. Now moving on to Trebs. Now the Trebs are a little complicated to talk about. Now we will first talk about with Trueplay on and then with Trueplay off. If the Trueplay is off, then it's still a bright sounding speaker. It's not very bright, but yeah, this is a bright sounding speaker. So if you like that brightness, then yes, you will love the Sonos Fives. And it's not ear-piercing bright. So, and I've heard these speakers for nearly 10-12 hours in one go. They do not cause any speaker fatigue. So safe to say, even though these are bright speakers, you will definitely enjoy them. Now coming on to with Trueplay on. Now with Trueplay on, the two tweeters which are there on the sides and the middle one, they basically change frequencies depending on the room. The higher end is more audible to you. For that, the tuning has to be done, and the microphone from your phone is used. It's quite a process, and I've done it many times. So every time you change the position of these speakers, Trueplay needs to be configured again, even if it's 1 feet of distance. So if you do change the position, you have to reconfigure Trueplay again. With the Trueplay feature on, the Trebs get even brighter. And if you do like more brightness in your tone, then I would say switch on Trueplay, because it does get a little better. And the separation between the mids, Trebs and the bass, that also gets better. So you can expect a little brighter sound, a more detailed soundstage, as well as better separation. If these are the things that you like, I would say go for it. Now personally, I am not a guy who likes bright sounding speakers, so this was kind of a mixed reaction for me, but I did find myself preferring Trueplay on versus Trueplay off, because even though I don't like bright sounding speakers, the separation gets much better and the soundstage also gets better. I would give these speakers an 8.5 because these speakers do an exceptional job at handling the bass, mids and the trebs, all included in one speaker. 6 kg speaker, all included in that. And they have the ability to fill a large room with it. So this is as good as it gets for an all-in-one package. Otherwise, if you want that kind of experience, the room filling experience, then you need to maybe go for a 2.1 setup. So that means 2 speakers and a subwoofer, along with amplifiers. So all of that included in one package, and you sort of are getting audiophile grade sound. I would say this is definitely value for money. The 1.5 that I'm cutting for this is basically that if you do go for a dedicated setup, there is a better sound that you can get. Not at this price, maybe at 30 or 40% more price, but there are better sounding speakers. But if you look at what this can offer versus the price of it, I don't think Sonos 5 has a match in India's current market as of now. Besides that, the Sonos multi-room technology which is there, that is also unmatched. If you do own other Sonos products, they pair up really well. So there's not a lot of complaint if you've invested yourself in the Sonos ecosystem. Now let's talk about the app. Now the previous app, which was there before the entire redesign, that was sufficient for this. The new app, it's just terrible. And I've used it a few times. I just avoid using it. The only thing that I do use it for is tuning for Trueplay. That's it. Otherwise, I stay away from the app. I just use AirPlay in Apple Music or Spotify, whichever I'm using, and I'm good to go. My personal experience with the Sonos 5, now these were actually one of my first hi-fi speakers that I ever got. The need for getting these speakers was very simple. I wanted a speaker that didn't have a lot of clutter. It didn't require any complicated setup like amplifiers, wires, connecting them, having a subwoofer, configuring all of that. There is a lot of time investment if you're looking at a traditional 2.1 setup. I just wanted a speaker that can be placed anywhere without any clutter, looks good, and can play music very easily without any need for complicated setup. And in my search for those speakers, I came across this. And not to mention, you can expand it into the ecosystem, which I did. I got the Sonos Move right after this, and they work great in tandem. So if I have the Sonos Move somewhere else and I have these in my living room, if I do bring them in, they just connect. That's it. It's that simple. So getting into the ecosystem was ease of play, along with, I would say, entry-level audiophile-grade sound. I think this is value for money. There is no other speaker in its price range, or maybe a little higher, that offers you technologies, ease of use, as well as entry-level audiophile-grade sound. So all in all, safe to say, it does work. This is a very compelling product, and I can see why it stayed in for so long in the Sonos lineup. 3 things that I like about these speakers. Now, the first thing has to be the sound. The sound is just incredible that comes off from it. The bass is good, the mid is linear, the trebs are bright. Honestly, anything that plays from it, it just sounds really, really good. The second thing is that it comes with AirPlay. I'm an Apple user. It's really the best thing that can happen to a music system. You're playing something, it automatically shows up on AirPlay and you just play it from there. That's it. You don't have to connect to a Bluetooth, pair it. You don't have to do any of that. It's just connected to your Wi-Fi and that's it. You're good to go. And the third thing is the looks. Now, you place these speakers anywhere, if it's bookshelf, it's on a tabletop, anywhere basically, these will look good. And because of the geometry and the way it's shaped, it looks good at any angle. Although I would say that if you're playing this solo, just one speaker, put it in horizontal, the sound stage is much better. 3 things that I dislike about these speakers. The first thing that I don't like about these speakers is they don't have any voice control. So no Alexa, no Sonos voice control. And that's a bit of a letdown considering you're paying nearly 45 to 50,000 for one speaker.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
From the mic complaint that I have, that stems another complaint of mine, which is Trueplay. Now the Trueplay setup process is honestly a task. I mean, I have gone around for 5 to 10 minutes doing it again and again with my phone. So, I mean, it's just stupid. I don't want to do that. So having it should have had microphones, should have had the auto Trueplay technology, and if I'm paying 45 to 50,000 for a speaker, it should do that. I shouldn't have to do this with my phone. It's not. This is not the experience I'm looking at. So auto Trueplay is something that it should have at this price point. I mean, if you look at the Sonos Move, that's nearly half of this price, and it has auto Trueplay. So they do have the technology, they just haven't integrated in them. And hopefully in the future product, which is the successor of this, it should have. And the third complaint is with basically how easily dirty it gets. I have a white speaker and it does get dirty. I mean, just look at it. And I really have to dig in and clean it. So it's kind of a task. Especially if something gets stuck in the grills, that's forever. You cannot take out this grill and clean it. That's not happening. So yeah, they do get dirty quite easily. Now my verdict for the Sonos 5. The sound quality is honestly impeccable, especially coming in at this price. Whereas the other technologies, they are dated. The Wi-Fi is old, there's no Bluetooth, there's no auto Trueplay, you have to do it manually, there's no voice control. If you're just interested in sound, or if you have a turntable that you want to connect and just have great sounding speakers, I would say you can go for these still today. But if you want the other tech that comes with it, and if it is of very high value to you, then you can at least consider them, or wait for Sonos to come up with the updated version to this. And that might take a while, to be honest. There's nothing on the horizon for now. So all in all, should you avoid these? Should you consider these? Should you shortlist these? Or should you just go ahead and buy them? In my opinion, you definitely should shortlist them. These are worthy speakers. They're very easy to use. They're great sounding. And if you're in the market to look at just speakers that play really well, and you're just looking at AirPlay and nothing else, and you're someone who might in the future want to invest into Sonos ecosystem, or you just want to have a speaker that you want to fill your living room with, these are definitely still a good buy. I think these are speakers that you should shortlist. And looking at the latest prices for these can go as low as 45,000, if I'm not wrong. Right now, I think they're selling for 50,000, but on sale they go as low as 45 or even 43. I've seen them once. So maybe wait for that and go for these then.